Hello, this is Davide Biocchi speaking, and this is my weekly intermarket analysis. Let's start this week with the euro dollar, that, in my opinion, is offering us an interesting perspective. So, whether we can consider this a double top, or if we consider this an head and shoulder, let's say, considering this the two shoulders and this one as we had, well, for sure, we have a figure that is offering us the possibility to think that the dollar can continue remaining stronger than the euro. So, in both cases, if this is an head and shoulder, for sure this is a neckline, and this was the breakout and the pullback, and now we are going down. Or if this is a double top, like this and this, these two, let's say, top here, and then we have a neckline here, and now we are even under this, let's say, very interesting support around 1.16. Well, in both cases, the target is around 1.10. So it's around a price that is really interesting. So this is how it works here. But my expectation is that, let's say, the price need now some consolidation around 1.16. Last week, the market ended above 1.16. Today is under. So let's see what is going to happen in short-term futures. So let's switch from currencies to commodities, and first of all, let's have a look at the crude oil. The crude oil is posting a new record since 2014, so it's very interesting to see that the market is really moving. Okay, so we have three different components that are telling us that this can be interesting. On the first side, it can continue growing up because we will probably burn everything that will provide us warm houses during this winter that is announced as a quite potential cold one. So oil can increase by this way. On the other by this way. On the other side, there is the fact that the speculation, financial speculation, entered this commodity and bought this commodity. So somewhere in the future, this speculation can take profit of a situation. So if on one side we have something that can tell us that the price can continue growing, on the other side, the speculation can take profit and maybe the price can come down. In the middle, let's say, in the middle, there is the organization of the country that are providers, okay, and producers of oil, so the OPEC plus, that is probably in the future maybe, let's say, intention of increasing the production. In that case, the price will come down. So let's see what is going to happen in the future. Key levels, well, for sure, this area around $76, the prices that we have never seen since 2014 above this level, so this is interesting. And then this one as 62, that is a quite relevant, a quite important support. On the other side, we can even think that all these banks, all these, let's say, advisors that told us that there is a target price around 100, well, we can assume this price, that is a rounded price, quite important, as a, let's say, medium-term target price. So let's see what is going to happen on it. On the other side, we have the gold. The gold is really surprising us because everything that happened on the gold was telling us that this commodity is trying to find a way, but the investors are not ready for the moment because the price was always and still is back as a magnet to that area around 1,765. That is, let's say, an area in which we can see a lot of volume traded also. Okay, so we have the very important support at 1,680 that worked a lot. We have another interesting key level at 1,830 that is, let's say, the watershed in the medium period. So above this level, we are quite again into a bullish market for the gold. Under that level, we are still in the present sideways. And then this area around 1,765 that has told work as a magnet, and we will see what is going to happen in short term in the future. Now let's go to stock indices, and for the first, let's switch to Europe and let's have a look at the Euro Stock 50 that it was able to move again above 4,100. That is an area quite important and quite relevant for this index. The next target will be 4,200, and then, if possible, 4,250. That is the previous strong resistance that we have seen here. On the other side, if we let's say focus on the DAX, we can find something different, because the DAX in the medium period is since May into a sideways, based on the fact that we have a strong support at 15,000, even if sometimes we have seen the price going down to 14,800. And then we have the historical high in area 16,000. Presently, if I remember well, we have a record high of 16,024, so really around that price. But if we start from May, considering the average of these two, we have 15,500 that work again, same situation as for the gold, as a magnet, and we are still there right now. So we are at the same price that we had in April, May, and the price is moving up and down this level, but again, every time goes back to the middle of that. So this is something that we have to see if there will take place some change that for the moment seems not to be reality. Let's switch finally to the S&P 500. And first of all, if I, let's say, go here to see if everything is similar on the S&P 500 and on the Nasdaq, well, I will say not. Look at this. The S&P 500 already arrived to the previous top here, okay, quite far from the record high here, but again, with the possibility maybe to see the market moving above this resistance. So different is the situation for what concerning the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq was unable to reach the same target. That is something we can consider here. So this, let's say, this area is still missing. So this some hundred of prices of points, let's say, are still missing. And you know why? This is because the growth stocks, as we discussed a lot in the previous videos, are not as bought as before, because the market is quite uncertain about them, and the market will wait for the reporting season to see if they can promise, if they can maintain, let's say, expectation, and then especially if they will provide guidance for the future that will push the people to buy them again. That's why I think that this reporting season is so relevant, exactly as relevant as the tapering activity that the Federal Reserve will start probably in November. So let's see what is going to happen, but for sure we have this divergence between the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Then let's switch to some stocks, because we can see and we can have a look at that. The first one I will offer you is Microsoft. Microsoft was able to reach again this quite relevant level around $306. So will it be able to move above and to do a breakout and to go and to move to, let's say, uncharted territories? Well, we all think that, we all hope that, and let's see if it is going to happen. There is another stock that was already able to do that, and it's Oracle, that still remain here as a very interesting one. So let's have a look at this. This was a quite good breakout. First attempt, then down, and then second attempt, and successful. So will this, let's say, congestion of prices work as a, how can I say, consolidation of a price? Will it happen a pullback? I don't know really, but this worked as a very good breakout. Similar breakout that was done by Simon Property Group, that did a quite nice and quite interesting breakout, let's say, and I think they have to confirm, but this is a very nice chart that I'm offering you that is quite interesting. Another interesting chart is this one that is Olema Pharmaceutic, very nice chart that is offering us to see the possibility of a potential breakout of this area. So quite interesting. And and another one that is very interesting in my opinion, especially for those that are not looking simply for a breakout of new record highs. So this is coming after a downtrend, and this, in my opinion, can be considered as an head and shoulder, as we can see here. Okay, reverse, obviously, and this is a neckline, very yellow line. So what happened on Friday could be considered a breakout of this neckline. Well, let's see if it will be confirmed by today's market session. Then another stock that was really doing good in the last week was Plug Power. Plug Power was, let's say, after a long period coming down, and then after another long period of a congestion, let's say, where the price was consolidated and also accepted by the market. So there was the, let's say, the market was accepted here. There was a first breakout, and we have to wait for a second one to be sure that there is a trend inversion, let's say, in progress. So let's see what is going to happen for next week, and let's wait for that. So this is, in my opinion, the one that are my favorite stock, and let's say that we will see next week. Thank you very much for being here. From Davide from Italy. Ciao, ciao.